Hey Browns fans, I have some important updates straight from the practice field and our upcoming matchup. Trust me, you're going to want to hear them. But before we dive into the latest news, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss any of the action as we prepare for the season. Okay, let's get started. The big story to come out of Thursday's practice with the Minnesota Vikings is all about Amari Cooper. Our Pro Bowl wide receiver, who has been a mainstay of the Browns offense, had to leave practice early due to an injury. Now, before you start panicking, let me explain what happened. Cooper caught a short pass from Deshaun Watson, as usual, and everything seemed fine at first. But right after he planted his foot and cut on the grass, he let out a yell. Not a good sign, right? He stayed out there for a few more plays, but it was clear something wasn't right. Eventually, he walked off the field with a trainer by his side. Coach Stefanski didn't give us much to go on afterward, just saying that Cooper was sore. So, at this point, we're all holding our breath, hoping it's nothing serious. Now, let's talk about why this is such a big deal. Cooper isn't just any player, he's a leader on this team. Last season, he caught 72 passes for 1,250 yards, and his impact on the field is undeniable. The Browns even restructured his contract at the start of training camp to keep him around longer, showing just how much they value him. Over the past 2 seasons, he's racked up 150 catches for 2,410 yards and 14 touchdowns. So, yeah, we need this guy healthy and ready to go. But that's not the only news from practice. Defensive tackle Maurice Hurst also left the field with what appeared to be a leg injury. Stefanski didn't have an update on Hurst's condition, so that's another situation we'll be keeping an eye on. And rookie Mike Hall Jr., he wasn't in pads on Thursday after suffering a stinger during one of Wednesday's drills. It's been a rough week for Hall, who's also dealing with some off-field issues. He was arrested earlier this week and charged with domestic violence, which has sparked some controversy about whether he should be practicing at all. Hall is due back in court on September 10th, so that's another storyline that's far from over. On a lighter note, let's shift gears to the ongoing battle between our cornerback MJ Emerson and Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson. These two have been going at it during the joint practices, and it's been fun to watch. Emerson's been holding his own, even snagging an interception while covering Jefferson. But let's be real, when you're up against someone like Jefferson, you can't shut him down completely. You can only hope to contain him. During practice on Thursday, Vikings QB Sam Darnold found Jefferson wide open in the middle of the field for a touchdown, and Jefferson didn't hold back. He was excited, yelling, "Where are you at 23? Talk to me now, 23!" after making the catch. But it's all in good fun. Jefferson had some nice things to say about Emerson after practice, acknowledging the tough competition he's been facing from our defense. He's clearly enjoying the challenge, and honestly, these joint practices are invaluable for both teams as we head into the season. So, Browns fans, what do you think about all of this? Are you concerned about Amari Cooper's injury, or do you think it's just a minor setback? And how do you feel about the Emerson-Jefferson matchup? And does it excite you for the season? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's talk about what's got everyone excited lately. There's been some chatter around Browns training camp, especially after a lively exchange between starting quarterback Deshaun Watson and his backup, Jameis Winston. Some people noticed that the two had what appeared to be a pretty intense argument after practice on Monday, August 12th. Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot even reported that the two were on their knees, with Winston talking excitedly with his hands while Watson listened intently. Naturally, that got people talking. What was going on between Watson and Winston? Was there some kind of problem? A disagreement? Well, Browns fans, Watson himself cleared the air, and it turns out there's nothing to worry about. In fact, he said the conversation was routine and, believe it or not, constructive. According to Watson, that conversation was just a personal conversation. It was just both of us just chopping it up. That's how we always talk. So it wasn't anything that was going on with practice or anything like that. It was just one of those deals that we were speaking on whatever we were speaking on at the moment. Watson went on to explain that they had just finished conditioning, and he was pretty wiped out. That's when Winston came over, just being himself, motivating, leading, and offering some encouragement. Watson described Winston as a good friend and a great teammate, emphasizing that they were just talking about everything that had gone on during the practice. It's clear that the bond between these two quarterbacks is strong, and their partnership is something Watson truly values. Now, let's talk a bit more about what this partnership means for the team. Winston isn't just a backup. He's a veteran with a ton of experience. Over his 9 seasons in the NFL, he's racked up 22,104 passing yards, 141 touchdowns, and 99 interceptions. He's got a 34-46 record as a starter and even made the Pro Bowl back in 2015 during his rookie year. For Watson, having someone like Winston in the quarterback room is a big plus. He's embraced Winston as an additional leader and values the insights that Winston brings to the table. It's going to help both of us, Watson said. I think coming from similar but different backgrounds, he's played a lot of football, he's been at the highest level, been around other pro quarterbacks. So for me, it's to be able to learn and build off the knowledge, and then vice versa, him learning from me and what I see in different schemes and different offenses and success that I had. Watson went on to talk about the dynamic in the quarterback room, and it's clear there's a strong sense of camaraderie and mutual respect among the guys. We're feeding off each other, and not just us two, but the whole room, Watson said, referring to Winston, Tyler Huntley, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR. We're a brotherhood, so every time you see us moving, it's probably one of us with each other. So that's the chemistry and the love that we have in that room. It's definitely one of the best I've ever had. It's not just about the quarterback room, though. Watson's recovery and readiness are also top of mind as we head into the season. He's coming off shoulder surgery but has been cleared for contact, which is great news for the team. Watson has been getting most of the reps during the joint practices with the Minnesota Vikings, but interestingly, he didn't play in the first preseason game against the Green Bay Packers, and he's also set to sit out the upcoming game against the Vikings on August 15th. Coach Kevin Stefanski mentioned that Watson is expected to play in the team's preseason finale against the Seattle Seahawks, but here's the kicker: Watson seemed unaware of that plan. When asked about it, Watson responded, "That was the first time I heard that. But if I'm playing. That's fine with me. Yeah, it looks like our QB is ready to get back on the field whenever his number is called." One thing that's been a bit of a challenge for Watson during these practices is the state of the offensive line. With key players like tackles Jack Conklin and Jedrick Wills Jr. still missing, the line hasn't been as solid as it could be. But Watson isn't sweating it too much. He understands that it's all part of the process and appreciates the effort his linemen are putting in, even if things aren't perfect right now. "I'm very confident in my offensive line. Each one of those guys, they work hard, they study hard, they try hard," Watson said. "So all that stuff can be fixed, and that's why we go through training camps and we practice against different teams. But yeah, overall there's some good things out there. Keep stacking these days, keep learning, keep growing from it. It's not going to always be perfect, but we always strive to be perfect, and that's why we call it practice and training camp." So, Browns fans, there you have it. Watson and Winston's conversation? Just two teammates chopping it up, nothing to worry about. Watson's readiness for the season? He's getting there, and he's confident in the team around him. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the chemistry between Watson and Winston? Are you excited to see Watson back on the field soon, or are you concerned about the offensive line issues? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive Browns updates. We've got a lot more coming your way, so stay tuned and go Browns!